And we're back for round 4 of the Demonic Tournament Commander number 5. It's 1:22 p.m. here. We're getting on with the tournament. We have 5 rounds of Swiss left.
That's right.
Then we'll be cutting to top 8. And, well, we have 2 new players here we didn't see yet. So can you introduce us the players a little bit?
Okay, so we have Genera against Animar. Pierre-Jean on the left is playing Animar. I know it's his pet deck. He's playing for a very long time, and that's just what he plays. Like, he really enjoys his deck, and he has been tuning it since a long time. I do not know his opponent though. I don't know Alexandre. I never met him, so I just know he's on Genera. I don't have the deck list right now, unfortunately, but yes. So that's going to be an interesting matchup because Animar is a combo deck which can kill quite fast, and Genera is more of a tempo deck. But he doesn't have any. If he's playing a classic version of Genera, he has no real way to get back from a big board except from killing Pierre-Jean fast enough, like using a few removals and counter spells to give him the time and not die to the combo and fly over with Genera for lethal. That's going to be tough for Genera, I think, but there will definitely be a match. Especially if Pierre-Jean has only a Taiga and no acceleration on turn 1, which is pretty huge to play Animal on turn 2.
Okay, so for those of you who are curious, we have the standings now, will be posted on the chat every round. So we have the standings for round 3, which have just been posted. We currently have 20 3-0 players and a slew of other undefeated ones. And the game goes on. Now we also will have the commander damage under the normal damage, so you can follow how fast the commander is gonna kill the opponent.
It's pretty important with Genera because 21 damage from the Genera goes pretty fast.
Yeah, Genera hits very fast and very hard. So we had turn 2 Southern Library coming from Alexander, and Pierre-Jean had Sylvan Carotid in Animar himself.
But not 3 third land drop. Like, this is a pretty slow start for both of them. So let's see.
So
what does it? I think he has a Vandalion Click in hand. I'm not sure. No, it's a Gilded Drake. Whoa, that's huge. Gilded Drake stealing Anima is pretty big if he doesn't have a way to bounce back the Anima to his hand or get, because without Anima the deck does function less well.
It's a commander deck. Usually it's constructed around the commander, but Animar in particular, I think, has a ton of synergy with the commander, and without the commander, it's not as strong. It's not like Anafenza. I guess Anafenza can work really well without Anafenza.
Yes, it's
just
always
a
pretty big deal to get his commander stolen, but it depends on the version of Animar. Some are more good stuff and can work without the commander, and or you also sometimes have the Kiki-Jiki combo, which you don't really need Animar to do, even though it helps, but just mana acceleration. But some version like really needs Anima to get going, and everything is centered around it. So we can see here an invisible tracker being bounced multiple times to get Anima counters. So he's using it to bounce his Taiga since he doesn't have a third land. Played an Imperial Recruiter, which is the best card in the deck, because I think it just won. Like, you have a combo with Imperial Recruiter, and if he gets Phyrexian Metamorph, I think that's a little right now. Alexandre wanted to wait on the Gilded Drake, but it seems to have been punished very harshly.
Yeah, so Imperial Recruiter will tutor something. Do you have an idea what he will tutor in this situation?
If he doesn't have Force of Will or Daze, then I don't think there's anything else he can do, but he can get Phyrexian Metamorph.
Yeah.
So then you play the Phyrexian Metamorph for 2 life, because I believe there is already 3 counters on Animar. then you can copy the invisible stalker.
It's not Invisible Stalker.
Oh,
It's something else, you know, with a red head. I remember
Yeah,
this card. It's a
it's-
1/4 or something like that for 2.
It's a 1/5. It's I'm not sure of the name.
Yeah,
but,
the name is not exactly Invisible Stalker, but yeah, you copy this one.
yeah. So you copy this one,
Okay.
and then you return a permanent to your hand, which you're going to return the Pyrrhic Metamorph itself. Replay it again for. Oh no, he's getting a Pilgrim Eye. Wow, that's interesting. I think that if you have enough life, maybe it doesn't, but you can pay 2 life to put a counter on Animar, and if you have enough life, you can get a 21/21 Animar and kill him in 1 hit.
Okay. So I say the usual combo is to grow your Animar. It looks like he didn't go for this play. He just tutored the land to be able to play a
the
bit.
Pilgrim's Eye to get the land.
So it's free for him anyway. It costs him 0
Yes,
mana.
but he's using the tutors, so I don't know. Maybe he can still, still have something. I don't know.
So we also have the metagame breakdown of the tournament. I think we'll talk about that after the round is over. But let's just see which one is the most popular. So it's tied between Anafenza, Wanderer, and Animar. We have Anafenza wins. Anafenza has 11 players. Animar and Wanderer have 10. We'll go over the whole metagame breakdown after this round. But yeah, Anafenza is pretty popular at the moment. It nearly killed Doran. Sad.
Okay, so we got Painter Servant, which just came into play because Pierre-Jean had it in his hand, and he probably named either white or black, which Animar has protection from, and since everything is white or black now, like whichever it chose, which doesn't really matter, then he has protection from
Everything.
Everything. Like it's a progenitus now.
It's a pretty big progenitus as well. It will kill in a swift strike when it gets to attack.
It's not as big as progenitus yet, but it can be bigger.
Yeah, it's still like he can nearly play everything in his deck for free.
Oh.
Oh, he had the Metamorph.
Yeah,
okay,
so in hand.
So now we understand.
That was a struggle all this time. Like he has a kill this turn, and I don't think.
Yeah, so he's bouncing it like a madman.
Yeah, that's over. Like with all the extra creature he played, I'm sure he had enough counters on Animar so that he had enough life. If he had only 3 counters, then he could pay 28 life to add 14 counters on Animar, but that would not be enough to be lethal. Yeah. You can only do it on 11/11 Animar to kill it in 2 turns. But so yeah, he actually needed some other things to be lethal. Like he didn't have enough mana or life to just kill him with Imperial Recruiter. So that was nicely played from Pierre-Jean, which got the Pilgrim Eye, so he could play another spell from his hand and finish with a Metamorph for lethal. The metagame breakdown is not posted anywhere yet. We will post it when the round is over, I believe.
Yeah, well, we need to type it. It's just a sheet of paper. So that's the problem. Maybe we can take a picture of it and post it online. For the moment, the only thing you have available is the standings. We are doing it step by step. So it was a Dreamstalker, the exact name of the card. We're searching for it.
I knew it was a Stalker of some kind.
So yeah, with the Stalker, for when you have Animar, it's for 1 blue mana, put a counter on Animar. Pretty much, right?
Yes, that's why it was a Fierce Metamorph. Instead of having a blue mana, you have
yeah, you can pay live then for a Phyrexian Metamorph, and you just go to 2. You trigger Animar 14 times, and yeah, with a bit of the other counters that came here from the other creatures, he just had the kill in hand. So it was a turn 4 kill, I think, from Animar.
Yes, I'm not sure he actually adds 21 damage, but even if he didn't, like he had a 20, he would kill in 2 swings, and you had the Painter Servant giving Animar protection from everything. So.
And doesn't Genara have a Wrath or anything?
They don't usually. It's more of a tempo deck, and you don't usually play Wraths in tempo decks, especially since you have Genara herself, who can fly over boats still, if there is one. Geist, on the other hand, sometimes play Raz effect, because when there is a boat stalled, then well, Geist can get through and you have no real way to win, but generally you still have Genera, so
Yeah, it can kill.
you don't really need that.
Yeah, Genera can kill very fast if you invest some mana in her. So
Yes, very fast. There is a question about where we can find the previous round. If it's about standings, we haven't posted them, so you won't be able to find them. If it's about the video, we only streamed the previous round so far because we had internet issue before, but it will be possible to see. I'm not sure of how Twitch deal with that. But yes, you're going to find it on the OGaming archives, and we will post them on we will post them on YouTube like tomorrow, I believe. So we are recording everything locally as well, so we have that. But I don't think you can watch it so far. Watch it at the moment. So yeah, round 3 was Yizan against Anafenza.
we have the deck list as well now. So
Great.
we'll make sure to follow everything when we have all the creatures sorted by converted mana cost.
Great.
So it will be perfect to follow the game.
So I'm taking a look right now, and that generally seems pretty standard. There is no combo of anything. Like you have good creatures, like Knight of the Reliquary.
Does it play ramp or not?
You play like the 1 mana elves, because you can play Genera on turn 2, which is very
strong. Yeah.
But you don't play like Sylvan Caryatid, for example, which doesn't
you
react
only
to-
get I get Noble
Yes.
Hierarch. It
Yeah,
sounds very good with Genera.
It is.
I see.
Yeah, so he has 6 1 mana acceleration.
Okay,
So-
he plays quite a lot, like 6.
Well, you don't have that many available. Like it doesn't play. Yeah, he does play quite a few. He doesn't play Boreal Druid because it doesn't allow him to cast Genera on turn 2.
Yeah, Genera is pretty heavy on the color requirements. So Pierre-Jean went with a Gitaxian Probe to have an idea of what Alexander is up to. Genera just fetched Hallowed Fountain, and I can't really see what he has in hand.
I think he has a Birthing Pod and just drew a Birds of Paradise.
Yeah, the good old turn 2 bird. You're always sad when you do this. You're like, yeah, I just drew it. I take 2, get
Yes,
switch 27, play my bird, go.
Guess what I just turn.
Guess what I drew? So Alexander is just shaping up to have a good mid game. He has Pod, he will be able to get the value going, and Pierre-Jean just played
A Bloom Tender, so that's a 2 mana accelerant, but it can get really crazy on turn 3 because you play Animar and instantly tap it for 3 mana, and you can do several things, and it gets up hand very quickly.
it makes Animar just like a free creature. When you play
Yes.
Bloom Tender, Animar doesn't cost you anything afterwards.
Yes, and with Animar giving you even acceleration, you can usually spend 7 or 8 mana worth of creatures on the 3rd turn of the game, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, Animar looks pretty busted when it goes right.
Yes, that's when it goes right. Sometimes it doesn't go that right.
Okay, so Alexander played a Birthing Pod to go search for a Meddling Maid. What can he be naming? I guess it's Animar?
Yes, that's a pretty big problem for the Animal deck, because to have your combo working, you can't really play too many removal spells. So you have Pierre-Jean actually plays 58 creatures in his list.
And how many non-creature cards?
10. Well, 10 and 31 lands.
Okay. And among them are things like Gumball, Gitaxian Probe,
only tutorial.
Survival of the Fittest. It's not like it's a real solution.
Okay, so what do we have? What do we have as a
I guess
solution?
the good old bit down.
Yeah, that's not gonna work in a list playing Emrakul and primordial sage, ancestral statue like the Dragons of Tarkir All-Star or not All-Star. I would say the Dragons of Tarkir unplayable limited card.
but very good in Animar.
Yeah, I guess that seems pretty good. Well, when it's free, it gives you a creature to replay again that is cheap. And Pierre Jean's list seems very focused on the combo and doesn't seem to have many good ways to get through a meddling mage. So he has
Necrotic Ooze, can it do anything? No. No, it's the one that gets, yeah. Okay.
It's Scavenging Ooze actually. This one is Scavenging Ooze.
Okay, so there's Scavenging Ooze.
Yes, he has quite a few creatures that can bounce the meddling mage, because the bounce creature like Manowar are pretty useful in the combo anyway. But that's not many, and he has to play Anima right away or the meddling mage will just come down. So we have a Phantasmal Image, which I'm pretty sure copied the meddling mage, probably naming General, so neither player have access to General, but
Alexander might have a few more answers to the Phantasmal Image.
yes, and also it just doesn't need the General that much. Like, it would be nice to have it, but it's not that big of a problem if it doesn't. Oh, that's one plan. Pestamite. If he has the Kiki Jiki, well, that's... and Alexandre can't do anything about it, then it's just game. Like, you don't need Anima to kill with Pestamite and Kiki Jiki.
Yeah. So Pierre Jean can play the Pestamite just thanks to the Bloom Tender, since the Phantasmal Image is 2 colors.
Yes, even though he cannot add white mana to his pool,
It's colorless.
Yeah, due to the Idrich rules, it adds 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 colorless to the pool. And if he gets like some red creature, Bloom Tender will add 4 mana. That's pretty big.
Yeah, it can go really fast. Like the Bloom Tender can go really wide here, but there is a Venser in response to the Pestamite, and I guess the Pestamite will be bounced.
Yes, I believe the spell was returned to his hand.
Yeah, Venser, which would have been a solution to the Phantasmal Image, so made him sacrifice it, but he needed some interaction here. I guess he was scared of the Kiki combo.
I assume he was. Even though if Pierre Jean has Kiki Jiki in hand, he can play it distant anyway, because Bloom Tender making 3 mana, he can cast the Pestamite, untap the Bloom Tender.
Yeah, untap the Bloom Tender, make 4 mana, and yeah, just play Pestamite and tap Kiki.
3 mana, but
no, he would have a red if he plays Kiki.
Yes, but afterwards, like, you untap it, and then you can play Kiki Jiki. So he just plays the Manowar, and it just had enough mana to replay Anima right away.
So, well, he did Bloom Tender for 3 mana.
Play Pestamite, untap it.
Okay, play
Manowar.
Yeah, Pestamite is just 3 here.
Yes.
Yeah. So it untaps Bloom Tender, he taps it, plays Manowar, and then we got the final Animar.
So it was a great turn for Pierre Jean, because it was not easy to pull off, because it was 6 mana, he had to do it in the same turn, and Alexandre must not have any counter spell, and I believe Alexandre might have been a bit hasty
with the Venser.
Playing the Venser end of turn. Maybe he could have waited, or maybe it was just better to bounce the Bloom Tender actually, because replaying it would slow down Pierre Jean a bit, and if it's all you wanted to do, then that would have done the trick.
Yeah, so we have a brainstorm from Alexander. When you're brainstorming main phase like this,
well,
maybe without a maybe without a, I don't see if he has a fetch. Usually it's a concession that you have to find a solution really fast to what's on the board.
It does. It does have a burst impact though. What can he get with a Venser? Let me take a look. He has Revel Arc, which doesn't do a whole lot. And I think that's it. I don't see any other 5 mana card.
Yeah, he needs
on 6 he has Sun Titan, but
he's 1 turn away.
2 turns and still doesn't do a whole lot. So he played Lanoel
Elvish Mystic. Sacrifice it. Go search for Gilded Drake. Oh.
Gilded Drake. Yeah.
Finally.
Gilded Drake. That one is not too late. It's not too late.
Yeah,
On the previous game, he just died because he played Genera instead of Gilded Drake, but here,
yeah,
he's not dead.
he is playing it safe. He's gonna give his opponent a free flyer. He gets this every day if you want to. I think in Alexander's spot, he was really happy to give it to his opponent. But in the end, the Ariel beatdown will be pretty fast. He has Pestamite,
Yes.
Gilded Drake, and 5 return is a clock if he has a few things to back it up.
There are not many games where Anima actually have this kind of list of Anima have the beatdown plan working, but that could be one of them since Alexander will have a tough time stopping it, and it doesn't really have a clock to race him. Being unable to play his Genera at the moment, he can attack with Pestomite, Manowar, and Gilded Drakes. That's 7 damage. He can maybe the Manowar can trade with a Venser, but still is only at 21. So there is a beatdown game.
Yeah.
The beatdown can get there.
Yeah, with the bursting pod, his life went lower really fast. He had to use it very aggressively to find answers to Pierre-Jean's plan. And indeed, the brainstorm was pretty good here because, well, he has a bursting pod. Like, he can just go shuffle anytime. I saw Snapcast in his hand. So he will continue seeing a ton of cards. But he just needs to find the cards that matter here.
Yeah.
He needs to
Well,
find...
he's in a good spot, so if he can keep stabilize against the beatdown plan and protect the Animar staying on his side, like not having Pierre-Jean bounce it again somehow, but he has to find another way to bounce it to do that, then he will win, but he needs both of those things. And Pierre-Jean has a plan working right now, and I think the beatdown plan is probably how he's gonna win this game if he wins it, because I think I saw Neven Mind Sensor in Alexander's hand, which is great against Anima, with having so many tutor effects to have his combo working.
Okay, so yeah, Pierre-Jean still has a grip full of cards, but they don't like they will have a high impact here. He drew one with Elite Visioner, but doesn't do much.
Okay, so we have a response to the activation of pod, and it is 1 second.
What the heck is this?
I know what it does, but it's basically stifle when it comes into play. It's a 4-mana creature. What's the name? Maybe someone has it in the chat.
Yeah, they're a bit later than us.
Void Mage Usher.
Void
That's it.
Mage.
Void
Usher.
Mage Usher.
Okay. So the Void Mage Usher came and hushed down the what was
bursting pod.
the bursting pod, but the ability of Void Mage Usher got stifled.
Yes,
the
that's
original one. Alexander got the real one, and so he stifled the trigger of the Void Mage Usher to make sure his pod results. So he got the Revelark, as we talked about, but he cannot really do much with it right now.
Well,
It's a flying blocker.
Yes, that's already pretty good because like it does stop the beatdown, and yes, you have a couple elves, like one Elvish Mystic and one Birds of Paradise to get back, so it's not like just a trade. You're still ahead if you do the trade.
Yeah, and since you have Bursting Pod, you can, when you get back 2 creatures, you can go off again with Pod. So it's true that Revelark will be a good card in the long run, mainly because it blocks flyers. Usually you don't see Revelark just as a real battlefield presence, but here it is.
If you do, and the thing is, it's not a good trade for Pierre-Jean, but if he doesn't trade, then he can put away the Revelark to still get by the elves and get a Sun Titan, and
Yeah.
that's pretty good. But Pierre-Jean just played an Earthcraft, a banned card in Legacy.
Oh, so real power here.
Yes, it is very good in this deck.
So
It's going to give him access to a
Ton of mana.
ton.
But yeah, he played a Wall of Blossom to draw another card. You know, I guess will be. He has ways to bounce his creatures
Yes,
and plays them for cheap, so it allows him to.
It doesn't do quite as much without Anima on the board, because if the creature are not spells are not cheaper, then you struggle quite fast with how many you can play in the turn. But oh, that's tutor. That's Sylvan Tutor, I believe. Sylvan Tutor. So that's a worldly tutor at sorcery speed from Portal.
I guess he has Worldly Tutor as well.
Yes, of course, of course.
Yes, he is here to search for combo elements. I think I saw a Man Sensor in Alexander's hand, but he couldn't play it and play Stifle and use the pod. So he decided to go for another route, and maybe he is regretting it now.
Yes, he got very punished for not paying 2 life and activating the birthing pod. Otherwise, he would have had the mana to
have the Man Sensor. I think he still has it. He had it before the brainstorm.
Yes, he has it in hand, but he just cannot cast it. He could have casted it if he paid 2 life on the birthing pod, and I think he could afford it.
So yeah, he was scared of the beatdown plan, and now Pierre-Jean is going wide. He has a board with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 creatures, and he will continue to develop it thanks to the tutor.
Those creatures don't do a whole lot at the moment, because just do a lot of mana. I wonder what he's going to get with the tutor. Like, he can get Kiki-Jiki to just kill him with Personite, but that's pretty bad against a removal or a counter spell. He could also get some way to bounce the animal, like I believe he could get Phyrexian Metamorph to copy the Manowar and bounce back the animal to his hand, and so he could replay it. What is other options?
Yeah, he still has Bloom Tender, who can produce 3 mana at the moment. He doesn't have a red creature, but he can get 3 mana with a Bloom Tender and play a few other things.
If he has enough mana, actually, he could get Emrakul. He has that in his deck. So
I think 15 mana might be a bit too much, right?
Actually,
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he has 9 mana right now, I think. He went for his own Gilded Drake to take the Animar back.
actually, he has 14 mana, I believe.
14?
Well,
that much?
Well, he has 4 lands.
Yeah.
Every creature makes 1 mana with Earthcraft.
Yeah.
And he had the Bloom Tender, which makes 3 mana.
Yeah, but he only has 5 untapped creatures.
Well, not this turn, but...
oh yeah, like next turn, okay.
He puts on tap, but... Yeah, so he could go for Emrakul, actually.
Okay.
And so he played Gilded Drake, get back the Anima. Well, I didn't think about that, but that's a good idea.
Yeah, so he put the Gilded Drake on top, and then made a few mana, I guess, with Earthcraft, and go for the value and the draw.
Ah, Moldrifter, Limital Star.
I think if the Moldrifter goes through, Jean-Pierre knows Alexander doesn't have a counter. If Alexander had a counter, I think he had to...
Well, I don't know, like, it just, like, his deck is kind of full of not that threatening cards, except for a few ones, so maybe you want to save the counter for the actual threatening cards.
Yeah, the Gilded Drake. But if he doesn't draw it, you have another turn, and he has Snapcaster. So, yeah.
I don't know, like, well, the Gilded Drake would have been a counter, for sure. Because if you counter the Moldrifter, yes, you have the Gilded Drake coming on the next turn, and maybe you don't have... You want to do something else with your mana instead of using Snapcaster on the counter spell, but...
He took the Revel Arc! Is that the BM, the bad manners trolling, or... I guess he has a plan. And what is his plan?
It's a Heartwood Storyteller. So that doesn't do a whole lot on the board, but I guess he might as well play it. But it does give a good beatdown plan now, with the Revel Arc on his side. Okay.
So he didn't try to go for some kinds of crazy combo, it just went for more value, I guess? Yeah, he doesn't have many cards in hand.
That's a good plan against removal. Like, Alexander doesn't seem to have a counter in hand, but he couldn't play the Kiki-Jiki this turn. And it was not good to get an Emrakul if he had any way to deal with Earthcraft or the Bloom Tender, for example, because then you're suddenly very far away from casting it and you're stuck with an Emrakul in your hand. But here, you have a good beatdown plan, which is great against removal, and like, that was a very smart choice from Pierre-Jean, where not an intuitive one, since you're not going for the combo in a full combo Animar.
Yeah, we see Alexander as no solution, and he's at 9. I didn't realize, but his life total is very low with all the activations of Birthing Pod. He's very close to dying here. And the board of Pierre is quite impressive. He has like 10 creatures.
I'm taking a look at his decklist again, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't play any Wrath effect.
It doesn't look very synergetic with the rest of the,
the
pack.
You just don't play Llanowar of and Wrath of God in the same day. Come on.
Yeah, it's not really part of the plan. So Alexander is contemplating his options, and yeah, Pierre-Jean could have taken back Animar, but he has only one card in hand anyway, so he cannot really do anything crazy with the Animar here.
Yes, that's right. So actually, he just managed to value out and have a decent beatdown plan without Animar, which is not a easy thing to do given his decklist. Playing cards like Pilgrim's Eye and I don't know.
Yeah, it's quite all in.
Iron Shaman, Cloud of Fairies, Coiling Oracle, like Dreamstalker. Those cards are not good Magic cards.
Yeah, not by themselves, but in the decks they look pretty strong. And Pierre-Jean looks like he really knows his deck. Like you can see he's really used to playing it. He's been playing it for years, I think.
Yes, that's
and
right.
Yeah, you see he has a full mastery of what he's doing. He's not hesitating, and he's taking lines of plays that don't seem the most straightforward, but work really well in the end, as Alexander is not suited to fight that. He's not suited to fight 10 creatures. He could have fought Animar, maybe find a removal, a Snapcast or something.
If he had Genera all these times, then maybe he could have raised him in the air or stabilized at least, and maybe get something going, since Pierre-Jean seemed kind of out of gas outside of his board. But the copy the Medlin Mage on turn 2 or 3 was
very big.
Yeah, it was very big actually. We didn't think it was, but he didn't have anything to replace the Genera, so he did the job.
Yeah, if Pierre-Jean had a way if Alexander had a way to pressure Pierre-Jean, or just a big block, or just a free flyer here, it would have made a difference.
So the Gilded Dread got putted into an Eternal Witness. I'm not sure what he got back.
I think he got Venser.
So the Meddling Mage is in his hand still? Yes, that's right. It got bounced, and yeah, he didn't have any reason to
replay it. So he got he has Venser in hand.
That's another reason why he didn't tutor for Kiki on Emrakul. His opponent had Meddling Mage in hand, so whatever it could.
Oh yeah, it's true.
He had to play it on this very turn, and that's why he got
something that he could play off the Mold Drifter.
Yes, he could play the Mold Drifter. He got the Guild Drag, so he could play it instantly.
And Alexander just scooped them up. A very, very, very good game from Pierre-Jean. It looked very grim for him at the beginning, when he got the pod building into the Meddling Mage, naming Animar. Well, he has no answer, and he found one. The Animar got stolen with a Gilded Drake. He didn't care. He continued going off, just going for value, going for a big board, and it paid off big time. So we'll take a short break. We'll see, maybe interview Pierre-Jean, get him over. Can you get him over?
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, we'll take the break after, and we'll talk about the metagame breakdown. And maybe try to find another match for the rest of the round, because we're pretty early in the round. Pierre-Jean had a decisive victory, and everything went well. So we are now at 257 viewers. Thank you, thanks to everybody for being there on such a nice day, Sunday afternoon here, and I think we are still in the morning in the USA. We are very happy to be bringing you the coverage of this tournament, especially where we have the occasion to broadcast and stream high quality dual commander matches. But today is the biggest tournament ever in this format. So we're all pretty lucky to have this tournament to cover and to see such high level games. I think Pierre-Jean will be with us very soon, and we'll have an occasion to talk to him about the cards. If you have any question about the coverage, about the game, don't hesitate to come in the chat. Lots of people will gladly help you. We have tons of French viewers as well in the chat, so don't be intimidated. You can speak in English as well. I'm here. So I'll just put your name here. So yeah, hello.
Hello.
Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about your deck, why you're playing it, and how long have you been playing it?
I play Animar when this card appears. I like this card because it makes really fun games. And I like very much play combo.
Play combo. Okay. So yeah, you were all in on the combo, looked like, but in the second game you went more for value.
Yeah.
So do you have to do this regularly?
When I play versus control
Blue decks, pretty much.
it's really hard, and often my Animar is not on the board, so I have to do anything else.
Okay, so you have to find ways
Yeah.
to gain card advantage,
Yeah.
to get on the board, and it works really well here. With the Bloom Thunder in particular, I think was the MVP. With all the mana he helped you produce, then you had the Earthcraft, and it went crazy.
Yeah. And when I fetch, I think about fetch in Basic Land,
Yeah.
Basic Island, because with Earthcraft my deck is really fun with Basic Island.
Yeah.
And I realize that my opponent don't play red, so he haven't Blood Moon, and I say, oh,
You can go search for something else.
yeah, perhaps I can. And 2 turns after I play,
You drew.
I draw Earthcraft. With, oh,
I see. So you're at 4-0, right?
Yes.
Now, so you're undefeated. Good luck going into the next round. You still have 4 more rounds to
Yes.
play. Good luck, and thank you very much for being with us. So, I have the metagame breakdown right here for you. So this is HD. Maybe you can read it. We'll go over it a bit in a bit clearer way. So let's do this. We have. I'll just go through the list. We have 9 Narset players, 2 Thraximandar, 4 Zurgo. I guess it's a mono red Zurgo. 6 Skullbriar, 6 Daretti, 9 Genera, 2 Widwen, 11 Anafenza, 2 Ruhan, 6 Geist, 3 Sigara, 5 Carador, 10 Wanderer, 4 Doran, 3 Child of Alara, 9 Tassigur, 2 Ezeri, 3 Kiranos, 5 Brush, 2 Sorak Dragonclaw. What? 2 of them? There are 2 of them.
Yeah, that's right. Surek Dragonclaw, that's not very common, but I guess.
Why not? We have one Obzedat. I don't know which Obzedat it is. I guess a new one.
It is a new one. The old one is actually called Ghost Council of Urzova.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
no
it was
Obzedat.
Obzedat.
It's only the new one, which is called Obzedat.
Let's see. So we have 5 Marath, 7 Grand Arbiter Augustin IV, a Dromoka. Okay.
Which one? I guess
Uncontrollable
the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, I guess it's the Dragon Lord. We have 3 CDC, Brute Tyrant, not the mono black one. So the Sultai CDC.
And we have 2 of the Vizier CDC.
We have 2 mono black CDC. So mono black is it's a way different deck, right?
Yes, one is the one with green and blue is more focused on creatures and Llanowar elves and interaction with creatures, and the Vizier one, the mono black one, is usually a combo deck with Buried Alive, getting Phyrexian Devourer, Necroticus, and Triskelion. Triskelion is the last one, or Leyline of the Void and Helm of Obedience, or both combos.
Okay, yeah, well, you find combos through the graveyard and everything. Okay, so it's very different. We have an Olivia Voldarend, we have 2 Asusa. I have no idea what an Asusa deck looks like. Is this a 99 cards Amulet Bloom?
I wish I would play that game all the time if it was. I don't know. I think there are multiple way to play Azusa. There are some kind of round decks playing like very big fatties, and some more focused on elves, like playing like the Yizun decks that we saw earlier. And you can also do some kind of control leash deck with lands, like very focused on lands, and using the extra land drops and really taking advantage of the general, because you have access to many great lands in EDH.
You have the right to play Tabernacle in EDH?
No, you don't. But
why would you play lands if you cannot play
can,
Tabernacle?
You can play Dark Depths and Thespian Stage to get a 2020, which is not as good as in Legacy, because you need 2 hits, and 2 hits is a lot
way
more,
longer than one.
lot more than one. Yes, but you still have quite a few interesting ones to get with Azula.
I see. So after we have 2 Omnas, 2 Kalia, 1 Krinko, Goblins Assemble, 4 Grizzlebrand, 2 Perforos, 4 Skitterix, a Crufix.
Crufix, like
The god.
the god.
Yes,
Wow,
there's no
okay,
solution.
sure.
Crufix, not the cursor.
Yes.
We have a Reese, we have 3 Risan, 10 Animar, so we saw 1. A Rada, I have no clue what card this is. 5 Click, a single Shuyun, I think performed quite well, so we will try to get him on the coverage.
Well, we'll see. I think he picked up at least 1 draw. So I'll ask him how he's doing, but
After this we have a Niv Mizzet. I guess the old ones, the ones that pings when you draw.
yes, it's way better because you can just play Curiosity and say, oops,
I win. So then we have a Rafik, an Alisha, 2 Nin, a Xenagos, a Teferi Temple Archmage, so the Planeswalker 1, Turbo Horde of Notion. I didn't even know it was legendary. I just play it in limited,
yes.
in Modern Masters usually. We have Safi Aritzkader. What's the name exactly?
Saphir's daughter.
I see, so we have 1. A Progenitus, a man that is not scared of playing Falcolos and big stuff. a Tassa.
Yes, that's Tassa. That was actually on table 1.
Oh, so he was undefeated before this round?
Yes.
3 with Tassa, so I guess it's a Merfolk build or just mono blue good stuff?
I don't know, I just look from very far, so
Okay.
he's playing quite a few blue permanent, I assume, but
Like, killing with Tassa is very fast. It's unblockable,
Yes.
it's for 5. It's pretty good. And then we have 2 Titania. So what do you think of this meta? I'll let you with
that's interesting.
Metora.
Animar is a pretty popular deck. It's pretty much always has been. It's quite weak to control strategy, but I'm not sure there are that many. We do have 7 Grand Arbiter, and
We have quite a lot of Tassiger as well.
yes,
We have 9 Tassiger.
Okay, so you have 9 Tassiger and 7 Grunt Arbiter. It is stronger against Tassiger though, because you have less wrath effects in Bug. You have access to like 4 of them, maybe
Damnation,
5.
Toxic Deluge.
Well, that's the 2 that you always play. You can also play Crux of Fate. Sometimes Pernicious Deed. You can go and play some other if you want to, but they're not as good. Like it's playing Journey in Sorrow maybe, or
Maybe the new Languish once
well,
Magic
not
Origin
yet,
comes.
Not yet, but it will probably be played. -4/-4 kill most things in EDH. Not everything, but it does kill most things.
Most generals as well.
Yes,
If they don't have counters.
Yes,
So
there are not that many on that list that survive it. Or well, I guess
Tassiger does, so here's a perfect
yes,
fit for
yeah, that's why
Languish.
it's so great. And it doesn't kill Grizzleburn, I guess, but the body is not the biggest problem. And yeah, so it's not the switch from blue-white control, which because it was the main colors for control usually in EDH, but having a big switch to Tassiger seems to be a good thing for Anima. I don't know if it's enough, but it's definitely very good, and having protection from black.
Metora.
From protection from black, it's great.
Get there. If you don't get much cause people can't hear you, just...
No, it's okay.
Really.
So yeah, Animal seem to have been a good call. We have a 10 Wanderer, which is which is also taking a big advantage from the Grunt Arbeiter having only 7 Grunt Arbeiter, which used to be more popular because it's a terrible matchup. Having all your run spell cost 1 more, and then you Wanderer.
Yeah, Cascade doesn't do much.
Yes, your Wanderer costs 9 instead of 8, and then you have to pay 1 for each spell you cascade, so it's actually
10 mana.
10 mana Wanderer, and a couple counter spell for what you cascade, and then you just never cast Wanderer again. So it's pretty tough, but pretty interesting metagame overall. Not really surprising, like the popular deck are present, and there are a few nice ones like Shuyun, played by Manu Lemarec.
Shuyun looks like he can kill really fast with commander damage. Like every time he hits with an unconscious spell, it's like lights out. You take half of your life counter away.
You can go as crazy, but when you see what Monastery's Whisper can do damage, and you add double strike on it, like what?
And it's commander, so yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have the downside of the 30 life.
You just have to deal 21 and 22 since it's double strike, I guess.
Yeah.
You have to make it hit for 11.
It seems pretty easy to do it in 2 attacks. Like 1 attack probably not gonna happen very often unless you're playing brute force, which I.
Why not? Why not?
I don't know. I don't even know if there are enough of this kind of effects.
Well, Titan Strength. Titan Strength has a +3/+1 scry. You will have a few ones.
Maybe.
You have a few ones, I guess you can play. But yeah, Shuyun doesn't have green, so it's a bit damper on the pump your general and kill.
Knowing Manu, I doubt he's playing those. He really likes his control deck and he think twice and.
Okay, so it must be a control Shuyun, you think?
Yeah,
just kill fast.
Yes, it probably has some interaction, but I assume he's not playing like cards that are only good to kill fast, and he's playing like cantrips because cantrip draw can and kill fast with Shuyun, which is a good synergy.
So I think we'll take a break. I don't know how much time we have left, but it must be something around 10 minutes maybe?
Less than that,
less than that,
probably
okay.
5 or less.
So we'll be back in around 15 minutes. We'll bring you round 5 action and pause the pairings and everything. See you soon.